Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Dani, and today I have a very cool game for you. So I don't know if someone has done this before. I looked for it, I couldn't find anything, but I just had this thought and I thought it would be fun, so I have a new game. Basically, it's not a game for me, it's a game for you. And the way that it's going to work is that this is actually my book haul video for the books that I read, for the books that I got in the previous months, weeks or so. And I am going to try to make you figure out which book it is. So I'm going to talk about it and like a little bit of the story of the book, but also the context of how it came to my life, if it makes sense, something about the book in general. And you're going to have to guess the book. There are some books here that are very well known on BookTube, so if you watch a lot of BookTube, it should be very easy to find out, to guess which book it is. Some, maybe it's not going to be that easy, but I want to know how many points you score. I don't know how many points there are in the game. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I should get a 10th book. Do I have a 10th book? Let's just say with 9. But one of them is more. You'll see. So the way that this is going to work, I'm going to talk about the books in a book haul style, but I'm not gonna say which book it is. I'm just going to show you when I'm finished talking, and as I'm talking about the book, you have to guess the book. And then you let me know in the comments, first of all, if you like this game, if you would want me to keep doing this, and how many points you scored. If you score all the points, you get a congratulations. There are no prizes, but this is just supposed to be for fun. And like I said, if you watch a lot of BookTube, if you read a lot, if you keep up with new releases mostly, it's probably going to be fairly easy. But also, if you follow me on Instagram, you might get a lot of spoilers there for books that I'm buying recently. And also on Discord, I mentioned a lot of this. Everything is in the description if you want to join, follow, and all that. But let's start. I'm excited. I think this is going to be fun. Maybe. So the first one that I have here is the one that is more. So it's actually 6 books that I put together because they're all same series. This is a series that has been compared to a series of unfortunate events. So it is a middle grade fantasy series by an author that I love, one of my favorite authors, and that's the reason why I bought the whole series, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it. And being compared to a series of unfortunate events and like a funny book? A funny book that's very self-aware and meta and like all of those things just sound amazing to me, and I'm very excited to read this whole series. The last book in the series came out this year, and it was written by another author actually, in partnership with the main author of the series, but that's the reason why I found out about the series, because I knew it existed, but I didn't know what it was about. But when I heard her talking about this last book, it got me very excited about the whole series, and I bought the whole thing. So the series that I'm talking about here is Alcatraz and the Evil Librarians by Brandon Sanderson, and the last book was co-written with Jancy Patterson. So I bought the whole series, and I'm so excited to just binge this whole thing, hopefully. It seems to be very funny and right up my alley in what middle grade brings to the table, and I'm very excited. I don't know more about the plot of the book. That was all that I know that made me buy it, so that's what information I have for you. The next one is a book that everyone has read this year, or has bought, or wants to read, or is talking about this year. It was first indie published, and now it was traditionally published. I'm trying to give more vague hints before I give the big hint that you're going to find out. But I don't think there's more that I can say about this book that is vague. So this is a book about, as far as I know, because I haven't read it yet, 2 orcs that open a coffee shop because they don't want to fight anymore. So it's a cozy fantasy all about friendship and like a nice, warm, cozy fantasy. Heartwarming, that's the word I was looking for. And it is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I'm hoping to read this very, very soon because, like I said, everyone just keeps talking about it. The next one is in a complete different spectrum of everything. It's a horror book, and it's one that I've already read. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen it. And it's a very short story. I don't know if it can even be considered a novella. It has less than 100 pages, and It's not a new release, it's a backlist book. I bought this book because I saw Hardback Hoarder and Books with Emily Fox, both of those channels talking about it, and it made me curious and excited, and I love horror, and being a short one, it's a really cool way to just see if you will enjoy an author, and that's why I bought it. And this book is about a kid that convinces, it's going to be a very weird description, but he convinces this man that he is this kid's father, kinda. And that's all I'm gonna say. But it's really creepy. If you like creepy, spooky horror, I would definitely recommend. And it is Sour Candy by Kaylin Patrick Burke. The next one might be a little bit harder to guess the book because it's an ARC that's going to be published next year that I got from Goodreads. I won a giveaway on Goodreads for this book, and I'm very excited. It is also a horror novella. This for sure is a novella, and it sounds really creepy. It is about this world in which everyone is being infected by a virus that's changing them in horrific ways. And then we're following three women. The first one is a woman that acquires an appetite for another woman and her brain. The second one is a professional BDSM switch that wants to commit brutal murders for her eldritch masters. And the last woman, I hadn't read this yet. I just knew about the virus thing. I had not read this whole synopsis on the back yet. This sounds really cool. The third woman is one that she has chronic tumors and she's getting desperate. I'll stop there. But it sounds really intriguing and I'm very excited for it now, even more than I was before. And it is Sister Maiden Monster by Lucy A. Snyder. Going to, again, the other spectrum of everything, we have a middle grade sci-fi. This came on Alcray Jr. and I posted a reel about it, of the whole box on Instagram as well. And this sounds really cute. It sounds like a Wall-E version of book, but it's basically about a rover on space, on Mars. And the rover wants to be a good rover and help humanity, and it just wants to do its job, and it sounds so adorable, and I really am curious to read it because it sounds really cute. And it is A Rover Story by Jasmine Warga. The next book that I have here, you will know if you are on the Discord channel because it is the buddy read for December. So this is an atmospheric murder mystery fantasy kind of thing by an author that I haven't read before, but I've heard really amazing things about this book. I've heard not amazing things about her other books, but I've heard amazing things about this one. So I'm really curious to read it, and it sounds, just like I said, like atmospheric and great for the winter season. So I really hope it's snowing when I'm reading it, because I think it's going to be the best format, best situation to read this book. I don't know much about the plot though. I know there's a murder mystery, like I said. Okay, so it's about this woman who goes back to her hometown to bury her mother, or something like that, to spread her mother's ashes, and strange stuff starts happening because there's a lot of folklore in this island. It's an island, right? I think it's an island. There's a lot of folklore involved. That's pretty much all I know, and that's pretty much all I want to know before going into this book. There's also a little bit of romance here, which I'm worried about, but I think it's not going to be the focus, hopefully. But this book came on Fairy Loot, and it is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. The next one I received from HBG Canada, and it is the second book in a duology that I gave the first book 5 stars last year, and I'm really curious to read this one, but I think I already forgot everything about the first one. And I'm very grateful for them to sending me this copy. It's the finished copy, so it looks so gorgeous. I love the covers of both of the books in the series so much, and it is about a world in which the big cities in the world, the big metropole of the world, have an avatar. So they are actual people that embody the city. And New York has one for every neighborhood. It's a really cool and unique fantasy, and there's a lot of commentary and a lot of stuff, but I don't see that as a main topic because it's a very fantasy heavy story with all these avatars and these creatures, and it's really cool to see like how each city or each part of New York in that part embodies is embodied in a person, like how that gets translated. And we see other cities like Sao Paulo, which is really cool for me. But that's pretty much it. I don't know what the second book is about, and I wouldn't be able to tell you because it's the second book in the duology, but it is The World We Make by N.K. Jemisin. Isn't this cover gorgeous? I love the art on the covers for both of these books. Before we go to the next physical book that I have an ebook that I got because it was recommended by a friend of mine, so you won't know because I didn't post it anywhere, and it's not a very well-known book. I haven't heard anyone on BookTube talking about it, but she posted on her stories that it was really good, and it was a free book for Amazon Prime members on October, I think, and I actually don't know what it is about. How are you going to figure it out? I should read the synopsis. So it is the first one on a series, and I'm just going to read the first line of the synopsis. It says, prepared as she is with augury, a set of magic tools, and a new staff trained in the uncanny, Hulda's work still proves unexpectedly difficult. There is a house, and the house is filled with secrets and magic, and that's all I know. And I want to read it because it was recommended by a friend, not specifically to me. She just posted on the stories and I was interested in it, and the cover is really cool. It is The Keeper of Enchanted Rooms by Charlie Ann Holmberg. If you've read this book, if you know about it, let me know what it was like, if you also liked it. And then the last book and the last point that you can get for this game now is a dystopia, so a futuristic sci-fi book. It is about the same author who wrote a very popular young adult series, but it's her first adult book, or her first adult novel, full-length novel, at least, as far as I know. And it sounds like a little bit like a Big Brother style future world, and the story is about this girl who used to be the face of the propaganda for the political party, from what I understand, and then she's been arrested, and we'll see the story from there. And it was also a Fairy Loot book. I don't know which month, I don't remember anymore, but it is Poster Girl by Veronica Roth, which is the same author of Divergent. So those are not all of the books that I acquired in those past few months, but the ones that I thought was most interesting to talk about and to share. Now what I want to know is how many points you made out of the total 9 possible points, and what you thought of this game, if you would like me to keep doing this. I had a lot of fun trying to come up with ways to describe the book without being too obvious, at least at first. So let me know what you thought. And that's it. I really hope you liked this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye!